Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Elizabeth, and so this is weight loss update number 26. I am almost at the 6-month point, you guys. I'm working on losing weight. I can't believe it's almost been like a half of a year, which is really crazy. So today's the day where we're gonna go over my thoughts on the carnivore coach that I hired in last week's video, and also just my overall thoughts kind of about carnivore and where I want to go from here. I have made a decision, so I'm going to be talking about that, and I'm going to kind of lay out everything that I'm thinking so you guys can kind of follow my thought process and where I'm just at with everything. I'll give you a quick update from this last week. Nothing's changed. My weight is the same. I am going every other day to work out, so I did all my workouts this last week, which is super fun. I am really excited to at least be working out and to like be feeling stronger, and it's only been a couple of weeks, but I really do feel some differences in my body. I just feel good. I have more energy and I feel stronger, and so I'm really excited about that. That's really all that has changed so far, and my eating has been the same. We're going to be talking a lot more about my eating in upcoming videos, and so let's just kind of talk about real quick what my thoughts were of the carnivore coach. So I have had two differing kinds of advice at this point. I went to a naturopath, and her thoughts were that there's not one particular diet that's right for everybody, and because I was having low blood sugars, then I was not converting the fat to energy quick enough, and my blood sugar was dropping, and she thought I might be one of those people that just needs some carbs in my diet, that there are some people who just need some carbs. It's interesting because when I said that, a lot of you commented on how much better you feel with just a little bit of carbs in your diet, that you voiced that you were one of those people. And so I definitely saw all your comments. There was quite a few of you, and so I found that very interesting, you know, what other people's experiences were. So thank you so much for sharing that. And so the naturopath that I went to was very into nutrition. She does a lot of nutritional counseling, so she's not illiterate on nutrition. She's had patients that are carnivore in the past. She's had patients that are keto in the past, so she's definitely familiar with it. She's not a carnivore or even keto herself, and so I did want to get the opinion of someone who is carnivore, what they thought might be going on. I just wanted to get kind of an overall rounded out kind of perspective, especially for you guys who are watching for this channel, and also just for myself to have peace with whatever decision, you know, I ended up making. So last week we talked all about the carnivore coach. I went over everything she said, all the questions that I asked her, and basically her thought process is that every single person can convert fat to energy. There's not anybody that can't do it. You know, she very much so has had good success with her carnivore diet, and so her mindset is very much so in the carnivore mindset that this is the optimal diet. And so from talking to her, we discovered I really wasn't getting enough fat in my diet. So when you're carnivore, your fat is your fuel, not your protein, but your fat. And so if you're hungry, you actually need more fat, not protein. If you're having too much protein and too little fat, then your body is actually not even recognizing the fat for energy either. And so having too much protein and not enough fat can be really very bad on the carnivore diet, as witnessed, you know, with how rotten I was feeling. So I have that issue going on, but I also have the issue going on of not digesting or absorbing the fat properly due to not having a gallbladder. And so we discovered that I'm not really even utilizing the fat properly that I was eating. So where I'm at with it, honestly, is that I actually believe both doctors. They're kind of saying the same thing, just in different ways. They have a little bit of different belief systems with nutrition. I do tend to believe that everybody is really individualized. Can everybody's body convert fat to energy? Yeah, I think everybody's body has the ability. Whether or not it's the best optimal diet for every single person through all stages of life forever, I cannot say that. And I would very strongly disagree with that kind of thinking. And so I'm very much so wanting to position myself as an advocate to do whatever diet makes you feel the best. What I'm finding, especially through the comments, is most people do know their own body. You know what makes you feel good. You've tried a lot of different things, and so you pretty much know what works and what doesn't for your body. And so I liked my naturopath's advice in that regard, of that how different everybody is. And so I tend to think along those lines as well. Also, based on my experiences with doing a lot of different ways of eating and a lot of different diets, I do feel very uncomfortable with diets that cut out lots of different food groups, or any kind of food groups. That is kind of a conviction of mine that I've had. And so I thought perhaps I could do carnivore for a time, lose a good amount of weight and use it as a tool, but I've never had the intention to stay on carnivore forever. I've been very open about that from the very beginning because I just don't like diets that cut out large types of food, different kinds of food groups. I'm not one of those people that's under the impression that every carb is bad. I'm just not. That's not where my thinking is. So another thing that I want to bring up that happened in this past week is I started doing some research on why someone would want to come off of the carnivore way of eating or the keto way of eating. If this is such an optimal human diet, right? Why would people have negative experiences with it like I did? And I realized that you could sit there and vocalize, that well, you were doing things wrong. You weren't having enough fat. There was things that you were doing wrong. There was things that was going wrong for you. So it's not really the diet's fault. It's how it was executed, right? And so I mentioned a couple weeks ago how I was watching a lot of Paul Saladino's videos because I was trying to figure out what was going on, what was wrong. And that's what came up a lot for the topics that I was looking into. And through kind of studying all of that and watching some of his videos, I discovered that he's not strict carnivore anymore. Not only is he not strict carnivore anymore, but he added back in fruit. of all food groups, he's eating bananas, one of the highest sugar content fruits that you can have. He's mentioned having bananas, white rice, which isn't kind to your blood sugar. So I was really, really surprised to hear that because he's such an advocate for carnivore. In a lot of ways he has really helped propel carnivore forward, at least in my mind and my knowledge and my research, what I have found. And he said one of the reasons why he stopped was that he just wasn't feeling good. He was starting to get heart palpitations. He was feeling cold all of the time, and he feels a little bit better when he adds in, bananas. And so I really have to take that into account because I'm giving the guy the benefit of the doubt that when you're a doctor and you've eaten this way for he was 2.5 years in, I would assume that he's doing it correctly. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt that he knew his stuff and that he's doing it correctly and that he wasn't making the same mistakes that I'm making. And yet he noticed his health decline after that amount of time. And so honestly, though, he's not the only person. I found more people on YouTube that were like that. Other people that have built their entire brand around being carnivore or even being keto, and at some point it stopped working for them and they didn't feel good anymore and they had to go back on it. They built their whole brand around it and they had to go back on that. And it just really stuck out to me. There's one woman who did carnivore for 2.5 years and then she started having dreams about watermelon. And then during the day, she started just craving watermelon, which is also one of the highest sugar content fruits, that you can get. And so finally she decided to listen to her body, had watermelon, and has decided that carnivore may not be the right diet for the long term. And so taking into account a lot of these different stories that I've researched and I've read about now, I had to really think about, what do I want for myself, and really asking myself why? Why am I holding on so much? Why am I trying so hard to make carnivore work for me? And when it boils down to it, I'm really doing this just for weight loss. I really wanted the weight loss to be effective and I wanted it to go really efficiently. And I wanted to really see the scale drop and to get large amounts of weight off and it not take 2 or 3 years to see 150-pound weight loss. And that is really what my motivation was for doing it. And honestly, I'm 6 months in almost. And I have not seen, I'm at 35 pounds down still. And I was at 30 pounds down 3 months ago. So in the last 3 months, I've lost about 5 pounds-ish, right? And so I really haven't seen the large amounts of weight loss either. I realize that if I choose something else, a different kind of weight loss program, that it might be slower. It might also be slow. And I'm going to have to be okay with that. As long as I'm feeling good on something though, and it's something I can maintain doing, then that's the difference. And so I've also given this channel a lot of thought. I know that this channel has grown because you guys are looking for carnivore content. And so I know that most of you here are wanting to see stuff about eating carnivore. And for that, I am very, very sorry. I really took it into consideration. I think that's why I've held on for so long, trying to see if I could make this work. And I'm at the point right now where I do not think I can picture myself going back to eating carnivore. For about a month now, I have really been asking myself, could I personally do it any differently than the way I was doing it to get a different outcome? And the answer I think I'm coming up with is no. Does it work for some people? Absolutely. Are there tweaks that I probably could make to have more success with it? Absolutely. But in light of, Paul Saladino and some of these other people that I've been watching, it may not be a good long-term diet to begin with. And I don't know why I would want to work so hard trying to get this to work for my body if I'm not planning on being on it long term. I really feel like I gave this 5 good months of really trying to do this and trying to tweak things and trying to get this to work. I just don't foresee myself eating 1 pound of steak at night for dinner along with 4 ounces of butter, and that being the lifestyle that I want to have. I feel like at this point I don't know 100% for sure that I could do that or that would even work for me. Because to be really honest, I did do that. There was some weeks in there where I really did try to intermittent fast, and I tried to do that, and I really didn't feel good on it. So while I openly admit maybe there was things I was doing wrong even with intermittent fasting, it's just the bottom line is I felt so lousy when my blood sugars would drop, and I never want to experience that again. I just never want to experience that feeling again. And so for where I'm at right now, I'm just too nervous to try it. I don't want to experience that again, and I just can't wrap my mind around going back to that and actually trying that again and just seeing if we could get my body working with it. Could we get my body digesting the fat? Could I take enough digestive enzymes to get my body to actually do that? I just don't know. And I'm just feeling like I'm not in a place in my life, at least for right now, to do that or see if that would work. Will I be there in the future and want to try it again? Maybe. If what I want to go towards trying after this isn't as successful, I don't know what the future holds. That's why this is kind of a weight loss journey. I don't want to be wishy-washy on this channel, but at the same time, I'm just kind of on a journey to figure out what's going to work for me and how it's going to look. So I believe the next video will be my 6-month update. And so what I'm going to be doing is explaining to you in detail exactly what eating plan I'm choosing and what I'm going to be doing. It's called Trim Healthy Mama. I've talked about it a lot of times on this channel, and I'm going to explain my reasons for picking that. I'm going to explain my reasons for choosing that over, say, keto. I'm going to explain a little bit of what it is and what you can expect from this channel. I've given this channel a lot of thought. I'm definitely going to be continuing to do a weekly weight loss update, so if you want to follow along with my weight loss journey, even though you're looking for carnivore content, then please do. I'd still love to have you here. If not, then thank you for watching so far. I definitely have appreciated all the different interactions I've gotten on this channel, so that has been very fun for me. When I started this channel, what I really, really wanted this to be was kind of a community for women, for other moms. The whole goal of the channel was to promote self-care, taking care of yourself, and really pursuing your dreams and your passions and things off of your bucket list and things that were important to you, even though, you may be in the throes of raising kids, right? And that it was still important to think about, you. And so I wanted to create a community around that. And what I did find was that I needed to lose the weight first. And I was finding that I was so busy making videos and working so hard at growing this channel, making videos, that I wasn't losing weight and I wasn't paying close enough attention to it. And so I decided to kind of restructure this channel and just feature weight loss. And I thought, well, if I do it, carnivore works so well for my husband, so I'll go ahead and try that. When I started, though, the weekly weight loss updates, I had no idea that carnivore was such a big thing. I really didn't realize there was such a big carnivore community out there. And so I've given this channel a lot of thought. Whenever you're putting yourself out there, you're branding yourself, whether you want to be or not. I am creating a brand essentially, and I've really been giving that a lot of thought. I don't want to necessarily lend my way to one specific type of eating, and I definitely don't want this channel to turn into just all carnivore content. And so that does have something to do with my decision also. I want to get back to kind of reaching just a more range of women, and you know, how do we feed our families, how do we take care of ourselves, how do we maintain our weight. I don't think carnivore is what the majority of women are looking to do. I really want to kind of reach out, kind of a broader scope, and really try to reach more the demographic that I felt like this channel, what I was hoping this channel would be. And so I really am excited about it. I'm thinking that I can make a lot more interesting content for you. Now there's just a lot more that I can do in regards to weight loss. And so I am going to keep doing a weekly weight loss update on Tuesdays still. And I'm also going to be doing an Eat With Me day pretty much every week. I think I'm also going to be doing a grocery haul video every week, and I'm really going to be showing you how Trim Healthy Mama works. And we're going to do this together, and we're going to see if we can get this weight to come off. I'm also going to be doing some videos, especially at the beginning, of just how the plan works, so that if you're coming along later on and you're wanting to do Trim Healthy Mama and you're trying to figure out how to do it, there is definitely a little bit of a learning curve at the beginning. And so I want to put out some videos of just kind of how to get a grasp on it. That's kind of what's going on in my head. That's where I'm at right now with my decision. And yeah, so I look forward to the 6-month update coming out soon, of giving just a little bit more further details about what I'm doing and what you can expect from this channel. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you'll stick with me. I appreciate you guys so much. Love your comments. Take care, you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Start to sail along these ocean waves. Nobody knows how to find us. It's turning out to be a perfect day. I just wanna leave our normal lives behind us. So let's get lost out here, no one else out here. Find ourselves out here.